Chosen one. Stop. Do not scroll past this. I am not suggesting. I am warning. God has a direct message for you tonight about someone you have been thinking of letting go. Do not dare to give up on that person. Not yet. Not now. Not when heaven is still working on what you cannot see. The enemy has been whispering that it is time to walk away, that the connection is broken beyond repair, that the silence means it is over, that the pain means it was never meant to be. But those whispers are lies designed to make you abandon your assignment before the breakthrough arrives. At exactly 3:33 this morning, I was pulled into a vision that shook me to my core. I saw a massive battlefield, and in the center of that battlefield, I saw two people standing back to back, fighting together, protecting each other, surrounded by darkness, but refusing to fall. Then I saw one of them begin to lower their sword, exhaustion on their face, doubt in their eyes, ready to walk away from the fight. And I heard God's voice thunder across that battlefield. He said, "Tell them to hold on. The battle is fiercest right before victory. The enemy is not attacking because the connection is weak. He's attacking because it is powerful. What I have joined together carries purpose that hell fears. If they give up now, they give up one step before the breakthrough. Tell them do not dare to give up. That message is for you about the person who has been weighing on your heart. Do not skip this message. Do not scroll away. If you leave before the 7th warning is revealed, you will miss why God is fighting so hard to keep this connection alive. Stay with me until the end. This is not about emotion. This is about assignment. Before we go deeper, I need you to do something. Type, "I will not give up," in the comments below. This is not just typing. This is your spirit declaring war against the enemy's plan. You are telling God that you will hold on until His purpose is fulfilled. The angels are waiting for your declaration. Type it now and subscribe immediately. Turn on all notifications. What comes after this video will give you strength for the battle ahead. Miss it, and you fight alone without the reinforcement heaven wants to send. Subscribe now. You did not find this video by accident. You found it because heaven intercepted your scrolling. The person on your heart was placed there by God, and He is not done with what He started. Do not skip what comes next. The Spirit is about to reveal 7 warnings about why you mustn't give up on that person. Warning 1, the enemy only attacks what threatens him. The first warning is this: the intensity of the battle is proof of the connection's power. The enemy does not waste resources on insignificant relationships. God says, if this connection meant nothing, the enemy would ignore it. But look at what has been thrown against it: confusion, misunderstanding, distance, silence, pain that seems to have no source. These are not random occurrences. These are strategic attacks. The enemy recognized the divine blueprint in this connection before you did. He saw what I designed it to become, and he has been working relentlessly to destroy it before it reaches its purpose. Think about it. Why has this relationship faced so much resistance? Why do small things become massive conflicts? Why does the silence feel heavier than it should? Why does letting go feel like grief when logic says it should feel like relief? Because this is not an ordinary connection. This is kingdom assignment. And kingdom assignments always attract enemy opposition. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. John 10:10 activates over your understanding. The enemy is not attacking your relationship. He is attacking your assignment. He is not fighting against your feelings. He is fighting against your future. If you walk away now, you hand him the victory he has been working for. But if you hold on, you frustrate every plan he made against you. Within 21 days, you will see evidence of what the enemy was really trying to stop. Something will happen that reveals why this connection was worth fighting for. Consider David and Jonathan. Their friendship was so threatening to the enemy that Saul tried to destroy it. Consider Moses and Aaron. Their partnership was so powerful that Pharaoh tried to separate them. Consider Ruth and Naomi. Their bond was so anointed that circumstances tried to tear them apart. Every divine connection in Scripture faced intense opposition because divine connections carry divine purpose, and divine purpose always attracts demonic resistance. The attack proves the value. This is warning 1. Do not skip. The second warning is even more urgent. Warning 2. God does not start what he will not finish. The second warning is this: the connection was not your idea, it was God's design. And what God designs, he completes. God says, I wove this connection into both of your stories before either of you existed. I knew the challenges you would face. I knew the pain that would come. I knew the moments when giving up would seem like the only option. But I also knew the purpose this connection would serve. And I do not abandon my designs. What I start, I finish. The question is not whether I will complete my work. The question is whether you will stay long enough to see it. You did not choose this connection randomly. Something deeper was at work, a recognition that could not be explained, a pull that logic could not justify, a knowing that something significant was happening that wasn't imagination. That was divine orchestration. God was connecting what he had already written together. And what he writes together, he does not erase. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6 activates over this connection. God is not done. The story is not over. The chapter that feels like an ending is actually a transition. If you close the book now, you will never read the pages God has already written for what comes next. Within 14 days, you will receive confirmation that God is still writing this story. A sign, a word, a moment of clarity. Watch for it. God finishes what he starts. This is warning 2. Hold on. Do not leave. The third warning explains the silence. Warning 3. Silence is not absence. The third warning is this: the quiet season you are experiencing is not proof that God has abandoned this connection. It is proof that he is working beneath the surface. God says, you have mistaken my silence for neglect. But I have been more active in this season than in any other. When the surface is quiet, the depths are moving. I am softening hearts that were hardened. I am healing wounds that were hidden. I am preparing breakthroughs that require foundation. The silence feels empty to you because you cannot see what I am building. But I am building, and what I am building will be worth every moment of waiting. The silence has been painful. The distance has been confusing. The lack of movement has made you question everything. But silence in God's economy is never wasted. It is the season of underground growth. The roots are going deeper even when no leaves are visible. Think about the seed buried in soil. It looks dead. It looks forgotten. Nothing seems to be happening. But beneath the surface, transformation is occurring. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Life is preparing to break through. Your connection is in seed season, and seed season requires patience. Consider Joseph in prison. 13 years of silence before the dream came true. Consider Abraham waiting for Isaac. 25 years of silence before the promise was born. Consider the Israelites in Egypt. 400 years of silence before deliverance arrived. God's silence has never meant God's absence. It has always meant God's preparation. Jesus spoke over your waiting. He said, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. What you perceive as death in this connection is actually the necessary burial before multiplication. Do not dig up the seed before it has time to grow. The harvest is coming, but harvests require patience. John 12:24 activates over this season. The silence is not the end. The silence is the womb. What is being formed in the quiet will soon be born into the visible. Within this season, the silence will begin to shift. A word will come. A door will open. Movement will return. Silence is not absence. This is warning. 3. Do not skip. The fourth warning reveals the enemy's strategy. Warning 4. The enemy attacks from inside your mind. The fourth warning is this: the greatest battle is not what is happening between you and that person. The greatest battle is what is happening inside your own thoughts. God says the enemy cannot destroy this connection directly, so he attacks indirectly. He plants thoughts in your mind. He whispers lies that sound like wisdom. He takes small moments and amplifies them into massive problems. He resurrects old pain and presents it as current reality. He makes you believe that the worst interpretation is always the true one. The battle has not been about that person. It has been about your perception of that person. You have been fighting the wrong enemy. You thought the problem was the other person. But the real problem has been the lies you have been believing about them. The enemy does not arrive with obvious attacks. He arrives with subtle suggestions, thoughts that seem like your own conclusions, that seem logical, fears that seem justified. He whispers, they do not really care about you. If they loved you, they would have done something by now. The silence means they have moved on. You deserve better than this. Walking away is the wise choice. You are wasting your time on someone who does not value you. The pain you feel is proof that this is wrong. God would not put you through this if it was meant to be. But these are not wisdom. These are warfare designed to make you surrender what God has given. The enemy is a master of disguise. He packages lies as logic. He presents fear as wisdom. He dresses deception as discernment. But his voice always leads to abandonment. God's voice never does. God's voice may correct you. God's voice may redirect you. But God's voice never tells you to abandon what he himself has anointed. Archangel Michael declared over your battle, I have been assigned to this connection, and I have watched the enemy's strategy. He has not been able to destroy what God built, so he has been trying to make you destroy it yourself. Every thought of giving up was planted by him. Every conclusion of hopelessness was his whisper. He knows that if he can corrupt your mind, he can control your decisions. But you have the power to take every thought captive. Use it. 2 Corinthians 10:5 activates over your mind. We take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. The lies must be identified. The thoughts must be challenged. The enemy's access to your mind must be shut down. Within 72 hours, a thought will come that urges you to give up. Recognize it for what it is. Reject it. It is not truth. It is attack. The enemy attacks through your mind. This is warning 4. Stay until the end. The fifth warning reveals what you are really fighting for. Warning 5. This is assignment, not just relationship. The fifth warning is this. What you have been calling a relationship, God has been calling an assignment. The stakes are higher than you realized. God says, I did not connect you with this person simply for companionship. I connected you for kingdom purpose. There is something I want to birth through this union that cannot be birthed any other way. Healing, restoration, generational breakthrough testimony. There is a reason why the bond has been so intense, because intensity matches assignment. Casual connections do not require this much fighting. Only divine assignments demand this level of warfare. Throughout Scripture, God used divine partnerships to accomplish his purposes. Moses needed Aaron to speak when his voice failed. David needed Jonathan to survive when Saul hunted him. Ruth needed Naomi to guide her to her destiny. Esther needed Mordecai to remind her of her purpose. Paul needed Silas to praise when the prison held them. Peter needed John to run to the empty tomb together. None of these partnerships were convenient. All of them faced resistance. But each one was essential to fulfilling destiny. What would have happened if Moses had given up on Aaron? What if David had walked away from Jonathan? What if Ruth had returned to Moab instead of staying with Naomi? The purpose would have been lost. The assignment would have failed. The destiny would have remained unfulfilled. You and this person are not together by accident. You are together by assignment. And assignments cannot be abandoned just because they become difficult. A soldier does not leave the battlefield because the fight gets hard. A soldier stays because the mission is worth completing. Jesus spoke over your assignment. He said, "Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends." Sometimes laying down your life means laying down your right to walk away. It means choosing the assignment over your comfort. It means fighting for someone even when fighting is exhausting. This is what love does. This is what purpose requires. John 15:13 activates over your commitment. If you walk away from more than a person. You walk away from an assignment. You walk away from purpose. You walk away from what God wanted to accomplish through your connection. Within 21 days, clarity will come about what this assignment is really about. Why God connected you, what he wants to accomplish. Hold on until you see it. This is assignment, not just relationship. This is warning 5. Do not skip. The 6th warning is about divine timing. Warning 6, giving up, now means missing what is coming. The 6th warning is this: the breakthrough is closer than you know. If you give up now, you give up on the edge of receiving what you have been praying for. God says, "I see the timeline you cannot see. I know what is scheduled that you do not know. If I showed you what is coming in the next season, you would not even consider giving up. But I require faith, not sight. I require trust, not evidence. The breakthrough has been scheduled. The shift has been prepared. The answer to your prayers is already in motion. If you quit now, you quit one step before receiving what you have been crying for. The enemy knows the timing too. That is why the pressure has intensified. That is why the urge to give up has become so strong. That is why everything inside you is screaming that it is over. Because the enemy knows the breakthrough is imminent, and he is making one final push to stop you from reaching it. Think about the Israelites at the Red Sea. Pharaoh's army behind them, an impossible ocean before them. Every logical conclusion said it was over. Every human calculation said they were trapped. Every reasonable voice said this was the end. But they were one moment away from the waters parting. One moment away from witnessing the impossible. One moment away from walking through what should have drowned them. If they had given up in that moment, they would have missed the miracle. If they had surrendered to what they could see, they would have died in what they could not see. You are at your Red Sea. The army behind you is the pain of the past. The ocean before you is the uncertainty of the future. But God is about to part the waters. Exodus 14:14 activates over your situation. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Do not give up at the edge of your breakthrough. Do not surrender when victory is one step away. Hold on. Within 14 days, you will see movement. Something will shift. Something will change. The parting will begin. Giving up now means missing what is coming. This is warning 6. Stay until the very end. The seventh warning is God's final word. Warning 7. What God has joined you must not separate. This is the final warning. This is where heaven makes its position clear. God Himself is invested in this connection. God says, "What I have joined together, let no man separate." And that includes you. You do not have permission to abandon what I have anointed. You do not have authority to disconnect what I have connected. This is not your design to destroy. This is my design to complete. I know the pain has been real. I know the waiting has been long. I know the battle has been fierce. But I am asking you to trust me more than you trust your exhaustion. Hold on to what I have given you. I am not finished yet. This is not just a relationship. This is a divine joining a connection that was sealed in heaven before it was seen on earth. And divine joinings are not meant to be broken by human decisions. They are meant to be protected by human obedience. Jesus spoke the final declaration over your connection. He said, "I intercede for those who belong to me." And this connection belongs to me. I have been praying for it. I have been fighting for it. I have been working in both hearts. What the Father has given me, I will not lose. And I am asking you to hold what has been entrusted to you. Do not let go of my design. Matthew 19:6 activates over your union. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. What God has joined, not what circumstances suggested, not what emotions demanded, not what convenience allowed. What God has joined. This connection is God-joined, and God-joined connections require God-level commitment. The 7 warnings have been revealed. The enemy attacks what threatens him. God finishes what He starts. Silence is not absence. The enemy attacks through your mind. This is assignment, not just relationship. Giving up now means missing what is coming. What God has joined mustn't be separated. You have been warned not to scare you, to save you from the mistake of walking away. But I must give you one final warning. The enemy will make one more attempt. In the next 72 hours, something will happen that seems like confirmation to give up. A moment of pain, a thought of hopelessness, a trigger that seems final. Do not fall for it. It is the enemy's last attack before your breakthrough. He knows the shift is coming, so he is making one final push. Resist it. Hold on. The breakthrough is imminent. Now seal this warning over your life. Say this out loud. Your voice declares what heaven has spoken. Almighty Father, the God who joins and protects divine connections, I receive the 7 warnings you have spoken over my life. I declare that I will not give up on the person you have placed in my life. I will not abandon the assignment you have given me. I will not surrender to the enemy's lies. I will not mistake silence for absence. I will not walk away on the edge of breakthrough. I take every thought of giving up captive to Christ. I reject every whisper that tells me to walk away. I refuse to separate what you have joined together. I declare that I will hold on until I see your purpose completed. I declare that the enemy will not have the victory he has been fighting for. I declare that this connection will fulfill everything you designed it for. Thank you for warning me. Thank you for fighting for this connection. Thank you for the breakthrough that is coming. I will not give up. I will not let go. I will trust you until I see the victory. In Jesus' name. Amen. Heaven recorded the declaration. Your commitment is sealed. The warning has been received, and the enemy's plan has been exposed. Now complete the commitment process. First, like this video. This is not about numbers. This is about declaration. When you press that button, you are telling heaven you received the warning. Do it now. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications. More revelation is coming for those who are holding on. Strength for the battle, wisdom for the waiting. If you are not subscribed, you will miss the reinforcement heaven wants to send. Subscribe now. Third, share this video with someone who is thinking about giving up. There is someone in your life ready to walk away from their assignment. They need this warning before they make that mistake. Send this to them. Fourth, type, "I will hold on" in the comments. Let other warriors see they are not fighting alone. Let heaven record your declaration. Let the enemy know you are not surrendering. Type it now. Chosen one. You came to this video exhausted and considering letting go. You are leaving with divine warning ringing in your spirit. Do not give up. Not now. Not when the breakthrough is this close. Not when heaven is fighting this hard for your connection. The battle has been fierce because the assignment is significant. The pain has been real because the purpose is powerful. The enemy has been relentless because he fears what this connection will become. Every tear you have cried has been recorded. Every prayer you have prayed has been heard. Every moment you have held on has been counted, and none of it has been wasted. All of it has been building toward the breakthrough that is coming. But you have been warned, and now you have been strengthened. Hold on to what God has given you. Fight for what heaven is fighting for. Stay in the battle until the victory arrives. The silence will break. The breakthrough will come. The purpose will be revealed. Do not dare to give up. You are too close to quit now. Go in strength. Go in faith. Go in the knowing that God is not finished yet. The best of this connection is still ahead. The purpose is still unfolding. And your breakthrough is closer than you have ever been. Chosen one, this is your moment of activation. Heaven is watching your next move right now. Do not let this divine warning pass without action. Type "I will hold on" in the comments below and declare it with faith. Let your words shake the spiritual atmosphere and silence the voice of the enemy. If this message touched your spirit like this video right now, as a seed of agreement with what God is doing in your life, share this video with at least one person who is struggling and thinking about giving up. You might be the answer to their prayers tonight. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss the next word heaven wants to release over your situation. Your obedience in this moment matters more than you know. Every comment, every like, every share is a testimony that you choose faith over fear and assignment over abandonment. God is moving. The breakthrough is near. Hold on, warrior. Victory is coming.